Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thomas shocks the socks off of Hope, and Tom is gobsmacked to hear Bill is Luna's father. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At Forrester, Hope gasps to Douglas that this is the best surprise ever. "I'm so happy to see you." Looking at Thomas, she smiles. "You came home." At Il Giardino, Tom stares at Poppy and gets a faraway look in his eye. Shayla snaps him out of it by chastising him for spilling water, warning him to start showing how grateful he is. At Bill's table, he and Poppy go over finding each other after 20 years. Luna comes in and Bill stands up to greet her. "How's my beautiful daughter?" Tom, watching, gets a puzzled frown on his face. At Bill's table, he jokes that his brand new daughter doesn't need a high chair. Poppy says Luna's the best of both of them. Bill agrees. She raised a phenomenal young woman. Poppy goes on about them finally going for dinner as a family. This is a dream come true for her. Luna says, "For all of us." In the kitchen, Tom assures Shayla he doesn't want trouble. He knows better than to go toe-to-toe with a strong woman like her. He's just there to do a job. He's a hard worker and will do it well. Sheila grins as he says he tends to win people over. Shayla really appreciates him saving her life. Tom is really glad he did. They're all part of the Il Giardino family and need to get along. "Let me prove myself." He's a firm believer in second chances and is sure she must be too, since she's had so many. Sheila grimaces. Tom says his point is that it's never too late to change. Once Shayla walks away, Tom peers out at Poppy, Luna, and Bill again. At their table, Poppy tells Bill, "You knew in your heart she was yours." Bill nods, "I did." Deacon walks up and notices Luna, who he recognizes as RJ's girlfriend. Bill says she's also his daughter. Deacon quips that the Spencer family just got a lot better looking. He leaves and Luna says she finally feels whole. "I know who I am now." She feels the most grounded and connected she's ever been. Poppy says she's so happy, but looks in Tom's direction. In the main office, Douglas tells Hope they came straight from the airport. Thomas says Douglas couldn't wait to see her. Hope gushes that they've made her day, her month, her whole year. She tells Douglas how much she's missed him and adds, "You've been missed too, Thomas." She continues, "I missed you. A lot." Thomas says he missed her too. Douglas goes off for a snack and Hope muses, "So?" Thomas tells her she looks beautiful. "You always do." Hope tells him he's as handsome as ever. She admits it's been difficult since he left. Thomas hopes she understands why he had to go. Hope says yes. But no. It really threw her, more than anyone realizes. He asks if she's okay. Hope says she's hanging in there and the line is hanging in there. Barely. It's all been confusing. Thomas asks, in what way? Hope feels she hasn't been herself lately. "I'm just very, very glad that you and Douglas are back." At Il Giardino, Poppy wishes she'd had the courage to find Bill and tell him he had a daughter. Bill says enough and warns no more looking back. They're going to have decades together and will just focus on the future. End of story. Now that they're together, no one is going to take them away from him. In the kitchen, Tom calls Deacon over and asks, "Who is this guy?" Deacon says it's Bill Spencer and his new lady friend. She's got a daughter who works over at Forrester, and apparently, Bill just found out he's her father. Tom gasps, "What?" Deacon says, "Yeah. He's really welcomed them into the family." At Forrester, Thomas looks at one of Zenda's designs for the line and says he's glad he stepped up. Hope points out that it's not the same. He could read her mind. She's been feeling very lost since he left. Thomas thinks she can handle anything. Hope tearfully says she's starting to doubt herself. She knows he was truly committed to her, and she wants him to know that meant the world to her. "I've really been trying hard to bury it, and to distract myself from it, but just know you've been so missed, Thomas." She throws herself into his arms and he holds her. At El Giardino, Luna, Bill, and Poppy talk about sharing holidays together and taking trips on the Stella Maris. Bill chirps that he'll see if the boys can join them. They decide to take their first family selfie. Bill says, "Say, Spencer selfie." Luna and Poppy do it and Tom watches with concern as they take the photo. At Forrester, Hope tells Thomas how good it is to be in his arms again. She never meant to hurt him. Thomas says she did hurt him. She turned him down twice. It shouldn't have come as a surprise knowing how he felt about her. Hope was recovering from a divorce and trying to think of the children. She wasn't ready to marry again so soon. It didn't mean that she wanted to lose him or end things between them. "I know how rare a man like you is, your devotion, your love for the only woman in your life." She has to wonder, why did you come back? Why now? Can we be together again? Did you come back to give us another shot? Just then Douglas reappears, followed by Paris. Hope asks what she's doing there. Douglas says, "Mom." Paris and Hope both reply, "Yes." Hope gawps at Paris in shock. She asks Douglas, "Why did you just call Paris Mom?" Thomas says, "Hope, there's something you should know." She notices the engagement ring on Paris' finger. Thomas says, "Paris and I are engaged. We're going to be married." Hope's eyes widen in horror. In the quiet, idyllic town of Whispering Pines, the sun rose like a golden yolk, spilling its warmth over the sleepy streets and quaint houses. The morning was like any other, except for the electric buzz of anticipation that seemed to hang in the air. Hope Prescott, the town's beloved librarian, was up early, her mind racing with thoughts and emotions she couldn't quite put into words. She had an appointment that morning, one she both dreaded and looked forward to. Thomas Evergreen, the town's reclusive inventor, had requested her presence at his workshop. Thomas, with his wild hair and perpetually ink-stained fingers, was known for his eccentric inventions and even more eccentric behavior. He was a genius, no doubt, but a peculiar one. Rumors about his latest creation had been swirling through the town, and Hope was curious and cautious in equal measure. Hope arrived at Thomas's workshop, a ramshackle building nestled at the edge of the forest. She knocked on the door, which creaked open as if it had been expecting her. The inside of the workshop was a chaotic symphony of gears, gadgets, and half-finished contraptions. Thomas emerged from the back, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "Hope, you're here," he exclaimed, his voice crackling with enthusiasm. "I've been waiting for this moment. Come, I have something to show you." Hope followed him through a maze of workbenches and shelves, her curiosity piqued. Thomas led her to a large, draped object in the center of the room. With a flourish, he pulled the cloth away, revealing a machine that looked like something out of a science fiction novel. It was a towering structure of metal and glass, with wires and tubes snaking in every direction. "This," Thomas declared, "is my latest invention. I call it the Time Echo Resonator. It can capture and replay moments from the past. And Hope, I need you to be the first to see it in action." Hope's eyes widened. "Thomas, this is incredible. But how does it work?" Thomas grinned, his excitement infectious. "I've programmed it to replay a specific memory from our town's history. Just watch." He pressed a series of buttons, and the machine hummed to life. The air around them seemed to shimmer, and suddenly, they were standing in the town square. But it was different. The buildings were older, the people dressed in clothes from a bygone era. Hope gasped as she realized she was seeing Whispering Pines as it had been decades ago. As they watched, a scene unfolded before them. A young woman, radiant and full of life, stood in the center of the square, holding a baby. A man approached her, his face familiar. It was Bill, the town's current mayor, but much younger. He took the baby from the woman's arms, and the tenderness in his eyes was unmistakable. "Luna," Hope whispered, recognizing the baby as Luna, Bill's daughter. "Thomas, this is amazing. But why are you showing me this?" Thomas looked at her, his expression serious. "Hope, there's something you need to know. Something the town needs to know. Bill is Luna's biological father, and this memory proves it. Hope was stunned. She had always known Bill was deeply devoted to Luna, but the revelation that he was her biological father was shocking. She turned to Thomas, her mind racing.